13 News at 5 begins with breaking news on this Monday night.
The number of U.S. service members killed in action in Iran is rising. In just the last hour, U.S. Central Command announced the deaths of 2 more service members, bringing that total number killed to 6.
Gary Grumbach reports now from Washington, D.C., where President Trump is defending the decision to join Israel in attacking Iran.
The United States and Israel continuing to pound Iran with bombs and missiles for a 3rd straight day. President Trump at the White House explaining why he decided to attack now, after weeks of negotiations with the Iranians.
Our country itself would be under threat, and it was very nearly under threat.
Iran and its allies responding with drone and missile attacks across the region, hitting targets in at least 10 Middle East countries, including Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. Dramatic video after Kuwait shot down 3 American F-15 fighter jets in an apparent friendly fire incident. All 6 crew members survived. The Pentagon confirming today at least 6 U.S. service members have now died after Iranian attacks in the region over the weekend. The president insisting Operation Epic Fury is ahead of schedule after the initial barrage killed nearly 50 top Iranian leaders, including the Ayatollah.
Right from the beginning, we projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that. We'll do it.
The conflict stranding hundreds of thousands of travelers caught in the middle. Americans like Oliver Sims finding themselves unable to get back to the U.S. with airports and airspace across the Middle East suddenly shut down.
I have no idea as to how I'm going to get out of here. Some people are thinking about going and driving to other countries and then catching flights out of there. And so I'm still weighing several different options.
I don't think they know what they are doing.
On Capitol Hill, Democrats slamming the president's decision to go to war.
They've spent through billions of dollars already. I think folks at home want cheaper health care, cheaper housing. I go on and on. They don't want billions spent on unnecessary wars overseas and Americans coming home in flag-draped caskets.
The White House is briefing top congressional leaders from both parties on Operation Epic Fury today, and will meet with all members of Congress tomorrow. A bipartisan group of lawmakers says it will vote on a bill this week to rein in President Trump's ability to take further action in Iran. But even if it passes, the president will likely veto it. Gary Grumbach, NBC News, Washington.
Right now, there are a lot of Americans that are stranded. They're in the Middle East right now since the airspace is not safe for any flights. And this includes a man from here in central Indiana. He's actually from Zionsville, and he went there on a business trip.
So he spoke to our Ella Rhodes from his hotel in Dubai. What is he sharing with you?
Yeah, so Ismaila India says he's very worried and scared, but he hopes he can fly back to Indianapolis on Wednesday. So this is actually video that he took on his phone from his hotel during the missile strikes. Just large plumes of dark smoke coming from this extremely urban area in Dubai, and just you could see that bright orange fire there. But you could see India owns the oil palace off of Lafayette Road, so he goes to Dubai once or twice a year to buy his products. He landed in Dubai on Thursday. When he first heard the missile strikes on Saturday, he described the sound of a strike like a bomb and says it felt like an earthquake. The other strikes sounded like fireworks to him as well. India could see the strikes in the sky from his hotel. Hotel staff told him the other visitors to stay away from the window as well and to stay on the bottom floors. India has traveled to Dubai for the last 17 years and says he hasn't seen anything like this before.
Never, ever. This was like, something was like just like a dream. So yesterday, the first one, no, Saturday, the first hit was so loud, it was indescribable.
India says his airline will reach out to him when they can get him on the next flight back to Indianapolis. So he's trying to stay as hopeful as possible, as positive as possible. The earliest he thinks he could get back here would be Wednesday, but it's still too up in the air.
Yeah, it just really puts it in perspective. That's not something we're used to as Americans, how dangerous. I mean, it's an active zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything could happen at any time.
Exactly.
Ella, thank you. Keep us posted on him.
Thank you.
Of course, these developments have many people concerned about what's going on in the Middle East, and Matthew Foltz today continues our coverage.
He joins us with a look at how Hoosiers who once lived there and others who help people from the Middle East are reacting to the conflict.
celebrating, so happy, dancing. You can see them.
Parissa K celebrates alongside Iranians in Iran, thousands of miles away here in India.
Victory for us, and we've been waiting for that.
As she watches Iranian news outlets from her home after the recent strikes on Iran from the U.S. and Israel.
It's not just about my family. The whole Iran is my family. So I'm worried about the Iranian in Iran.
Kay moved to Indiana over 30 years ago after being raised in Iran and says she suffered physical brutality from the way the country is ran.
They've been shooting people with war bullets, and they don't have gun, they don't have anything to protect themselves or their kids or the family.
Since then, she's worked to be a voice for those in Iran still searching for freedom.
I came here in 1975-76 era.
Hassan Miyanko has worked alongside Kay in those efforts. While he's also happy about the strikes, he hates to see the casualties. According to Iran's Red Crescent, over 500 people have died from the recent strikes.
There are going to be casualties, there is going to be innocent people going to get killed, but then this will stay finished. Once Iran is free, Middle East will be free, Israel will have a peace, the whole world will be free.
Hope and pray that this bloodshed will end with peace and understanding and respect to human's life.
Meanwhile, Hoosier Bibi Barami believes there's a better way to handle the conflict. She's worked for years to help refugees get settled here in Indiana from the Middle East.
The weakest action is the military strikes. As a human, God created us so strong and give us intelligence and beautiful heart and minds. We need to use those to come to the solution and understanding and respect to all humanity.
Despite different viewpoints, everyone I spoke with can agree that they hope peace in the Middle East comes soon.
Iranians, they don't want to change a little bit of the government. No, they want the whole regime gone because they've been under that regime, the brutal regime, for 47 years.
Reporting in India, I'm Matthew Foltz, 13 News.
And here at home, you'll likely feel the impact of this conflict when you go to fill up your car's gas tank. That's one of the stories that you'll see tonight on NBC Nightly News with Tom Yamas.
I'm Christine Romans in New York, where we are watching oil prices surge around the world after the U.S. and Israel launched strikes against Iran. The very important narrow Strait of Hormuz is right there, and 20% of global energy supplies travel through there on ships. Any disruption could lead to even higher oil prices and potentially higher gas prices when you go to fill up at the pump. Tonight on NBC Nightly News, when you could see gas prices rise and by how much.
And again, Christine's full story tonight at 6:30 right here on Channel 13.
And we've been following the conflict there since the news first broke over the weekend on air and on our website, WTHR.com. That's also where we'll keep you updated tonight and the days and weeks to follow as this situation continues to evolve. Angela?
Anne-Marie, for some, it was a snowy start to Monday with several inches of snow and some school delays. We were out and about downtown on the canal, bundled up today, and if you looked closely, there was still some snow left behind around lunchtime today. But all of that snow is gone now. Take a live look. We're at 865 on the northwest side of Marion County near Ford Road. This was one area that got hit pretty hard earlier this morning with several inches of snow. It is all melted. Yes, a March snow, and it's all gone now. Temperatures right now in the 30s and 40s. We have 30 Greensburg, 36 degrees Connorsville, and 39 at the Country Club of Indianapolis. Evening temperatures will be nearly steady in the 30s to around 40 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Rush hour forecast for tomorrow. Grab the umbrellas and allow some extra time. It won't be snow that slows us down tomorrow morning, but some rain that could be heavy at times. Jacket to keep you warm, umbrella to keep you dry. Temperatures tomorrow afternoon for most of central Indiana will end up in the upper 40s and low 50s. Wet and stormy weather pattern now all the way through the end of the weekend. Won't rain all day every day, but we're tracking several rounds of rain and storms, the potential of severe weather that we'll talk about in the full forecast, and the potential of some very heavy rain. We'll keep you updated all week.
Thank you. Well, the company that provides electricity to your home or business here in Indianapolis now is changing ownership.
Rich Nye explains who is buying AES Indiana and why consumer advocates fear customers will pay more for power.
Under the acquisition, AES Indiana will still be a regulated utility monopoly, but the company would change from a publicly traded company to a privately held company.
A consortium led by Global Infrastructure Partners, a division of BlackRock, and EQT will acquire all of AES globally for $15 a share. That's more than a 40% premium for shareholders. The total transaction is about $10.7 billion. AES Indiana and AES Ohio will remain locally operated and managed regulated utilities.
The state gives the privilege of these monopoly franchises to these utilities. In exchange, they expect them to be good community partners, good corporate partners. And what is most frustrating about this is the state of Indiana and the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission have no say in approving or rejecting this deal, and that's simply not right.
Citizens Action Coalition fears an increased push for profits will come at an unfair cost to ratepayers. In Indianapolis, Rich Nye, 13 News.
And the sale of AES is expected to close late this year or early in 2027.